Hello. So you guys able to hear me, right? Yeah, fine. 1 second. Let's open the topic what we have discussed in the previous session. Let me open the output. So this is the session what we have. This is the concept what we have discussed in the previous session. We are learning about the responsive web page design, right? In the different layouts, we are in the different resolutions. We are trying to learn about the responsive website design. Now let's see the output. Let's recap the output, how the output is. Now what we have did, so in this resolution, so it is around mine is the 19. Oh, 1 sec. Yeah. Are you people able to see my screen, right? Fine. Now this is our layout which we have discussed in our previous session. Now let's see this one. This is the resolution is around 1900 pixel, my resolution, and in this resolution we have made this header bar green color. Let's try to decrease this resolution. Now when we decrease resolution 1200 pixel or something like this, let's inspect the element. Now you'll be able to see at the top 1200 pixel and below. If it is 1200 pixel and below, the header has converted into red color, brown color, and these are still in the 3-column layout only, the navigation thing. Now when we try to decrease somewhat to the mobile version, automatically we have converted it into vertical. So instead of having horizontal navigation, we have converted it into one line navigation. So these are the concepts that we have discussed. So this is our responsive layout. Now what is the thing we need to do? Now what is the thing we will try to learn is here. Let's try to design the main page. Let's try to design the main page. Some of the product articles or something like products. Let's try to add it so that you will be having a clear idea about the responsive layout design. Now up to here, the header and the navigation, the main navigation is completed. Now this is our CSS file. Where is our CSS file? Responsive.css. Yeah. So this is our responsive.css file. So this is the CSS that we have written. Now let's go into this one. Now here we are trying to write the main. In this main section, what we'll try to do is we'll try to display the products item. So whatever may be the products, I want to show you the design, how the products will be. Something like you'll be having vertical boxes showing the image, title, product description, and the product price. You will be having some items like that. So let's try to design the basic layout and let's try to do the responsive thing. Now here, every time, so ours is a product section. Now we are trying to develop the product section. Now let's try to add it here, section. Okay. So in this section, if you want, you can add a class something like products section. Okay. So this is one section, and in this section, I want to create the product box. Okay. So one product box, or otherwise one product, or other, also you can take it. So let's try to take. Okay. Now this is the product. Let's try to keep it as product. Now this is the product. Now in this product, we will be having one image. Let's take some image from the Google desktop images. I will take some image. A big image. I will try to take it. Yeah. Let's open this one in a new tab. Oh, it's downloaded. Let's try to take this one. Yeah. So this is the JPG image. Let's try to take it. And here, let's try to add our img src is equal to. So this is the image which we try to add it. So let's try to design the wireframe first. So we are having an image, and next we should be having a title. Product title means it's a title. So we can keep h2 or h3, whatever you want, we can keep it. Already we have used the h1 tag for the main title. So we should use only one h1 tag. And here we need to use h2. Okay. Now if you try to see, product title I am using, and the next one you will be having something, what I can say is paragraph, which shows the description. product description, let's assume, and last you will be having the price. Okay, so price something around $1,200, let's assume. So this is the items what we will be having for a single product. So this is a single product which we want to display. In this product we are having an image, product title, product description, and the product price. So these are the three details which we are having right now. Let's try to see the output, how this output looks like. Now if we try to see the output, now here this is the output which we are able to see. Let's make it okay. Now this is the bigger resolution we are having, and in this one the image is very so much big. So what we have discussed first, so when we are doing the responsive layout design, first we need to complete the mobile approach. So let's try to do the mobile approach thing. So in this mobile approach, if you try to see, let's try to keep this one also aside so that you'll be able to understand. Okay, so in this mobile approach, if you try to see this one, so the navigation has got distorted, and also the image, which is the image which we are trying to see, it is so much big, so that it is going on like this, right? Horizontal, it is taking so much of it. This should not happen like this. Now what I will try to do is, let's try to apply the CSS for this section, for this, not for this section, this entire product box. So let's try to see. Now I want to write the CSS for this product first for the mobile section. Now here I am taking the CSS, I am writing the CSS. So here products CSS, right? So products I am writing so that you will have a clear idea. End products. Now first one, what I need to do, first for the product I need to add. For the product, entire product, if you want you can also use something like specifically product section. Okay, the product section. If you want direct child means you can use greater than also. Now dot product, in this product section dot product, for this image, right? First is the image is the thing which is creating the problem, right? Dot product inside the image. So the image, so it is very big, right? So what I am trying to tell is to take the 100% width. So whatever the 100% width is there, it should take this much only. So now it has took the 100% width. Now if you try to see the output, the product details is in such a way that the entire screen, so from edge to edge it is occupying. I don't want this like this, the product details to be occupied. So I want some little bit of padding or margin between this left and right. So let's go to this product section. Okay, for this is the product section, right, for the entire products. So let's go to this product section, and I can add something like 10 pixel or any much. So now, so it has been decreased. Now I want to add a border to this product details. How can I add the border? So this is the entire product. So now if you try to see the output, so if you try to see here, let me try to show you. Now this is the entire product section. Okay, so this one has the products. If you want, we can add another products also, another product, so that we'll have a clear idea instead of having only single product. Now another product is also that, let's assume. So we are having two product details coming side the one by one down. So fine, it's looking somewhat fine. So we need to do some designing. Now here, this is the complete product section we are having. Okay, this is the complete product section we are having. Okay, so this is single product and this one is the single product. So now we are designing the individual single product. Let's try to see. Now we have designed this image source to take only the 100% of the width. So how much the space is allowed for this one? It should take that much only. Now this is the H2. So this I want to add a border for this product. Now if you try to see the product design, it is in such a way that the title, this image is taking the total width of this box, product box. It's fine. So let's image, we keep it like this only. But this product title, product description and all those things so should not come from edge to edge. So it should not take the edge to edge, left and right. It is not having anything. Now what I want to apply is, I want to apply some padding or margin for this product title. So left and right, so that it will be in between this, what I can see, it will not collapse with the margin. So sorry, border. Now let's try to add this one. So for adding this one, so now here if you try to see H1, P and price, for these three items, I want to apply the margin. So what I can do, so one thing is I can take each element and I can apply the margin for this one. But I don't want like this. So I can wrap it in one big parent div. Okay, we know the CSS inheritance concept. Let's make use of that concept. So product details. Now I will apply this product details. So in the product details. So entire thing should have a margin 0 pixel and left should be something around 10 pixel or 1 em or anything, whatever you want, you can take it. Now if you try to apply, so what happened this one? So whether I did it wrong or what? Okay, I didn't save this one. Sorry, I have applied only to one product. Now we have applied, we need to apply for the first section. Every section we need to apply. Okay, fine, let's apply. So up to here. And second one also I have applied. Okay, only 2 products are there. Let's try to see the output. Now the equal spacing is there, left and right. Now this is how we have designed somewhat. We have designed some basic layout. Let's say that we'll keep it like this for the time being. Now in the mobile section, if we are trying to see, it is somewhat fine. So it is okay for me. In mobile, it is coming one by one down. I'm able to see it. Now let's go to the iPad. How it is looking in the iPad. Let's try to see it. Now if I am trying to see in the iPad, okay. Now in this iPad, if you try to see, the product is coming one by one down. So which is looking somewhat odd. So I don't want this behavior. Okay. So what I want is, I want to show, let's say that two items at a time. So let's try to make it 2 items at a time. So in order to make the 2 items at a time, so this is the product section. In this production, each product has to come side by side. So what I can do here, let's go to the responsive. This is the iPad section. And in the products section, okay, and each product should have a width of 50%. Okay, should have a width of 50%. Now it took the width of 50%. Okay, let's assume. And now what I want is, it should be float left. Okay. Now if you try to see, so each product is coming side by side. So it is looking fine for me. But here, if you try to see, there is no gap between this one. So I want to apply the gap between this one. So if I want to apply the gap between this one, I can apply something like margin left of 10 pixel, let's assume, and margin right of 10 pixel. I will show you some other scenarios also, but let's try to keep it for the time being. Now if you try to see, immediately this product has been jumped to outside. So what is the reason it has jumped to down is, now we told that we need to have a margin of, we need to have the product of 50%. So it need to take the width of 50%. So this is 50% and this is 50%. So if you try to understand the box model, then you will be able to understand this one. Now this product has including this width of 50%, it also has a margin left of 50 pixel. That means it is around 50.2%. Why? Because 10 pixel also will be counted. So total width of this one include the margin left. These all the things are there, right? So total it is 100% and this one is taking 50%. So this is the thing it is having, and this one is the thing it's having. So I don't want this behavior. So the margin also should be applied between the, what I can say, in this width only. But unfortunately, we have added this border boxing and all those things. Border boxing will take up to the border, and the padding only it will take into account for the total width. Margin will be margin is not the visual area. So what we need to do is, in that type of scenario, so we can wrap this one. So this is the total product, right? And I can wrap this one entire thing in a product box or anything, whatever name you want, you can give it. And here I can close it. The same thing I need to add it. So the entire thing comes here. So this is the product, and okay, this entire product, right? So here I can use it. So this depends on your requirement and all those things. Now I have given the product thing. Now let's try to see. The product should be of 50% and float left. So I should not apply this margin left. I will apply this margin left in the product section. Okay, dot the product box. Sorry, product box. Now let's try to see the output. Now if you try to see the output, so these both came side by side, but the margin has not been applied. Why? Because the margin has been applied to the border. Where is that border? Border has been applied to the dot product, right? So let's try to make this one dot product section the product box. I want to apply this product to the product box. Now let's try to see the output. Now if you try to see the output, so now we are able to see exactly 50% is there, and this one is having margin 10 pixel top and bottom you are having. And if you go to the product box, so this product box margin left, right, and everything will be taken care in the 50% width only. Okay, so this is how we will be doing. Now if you go to the mobile version and if you try to see, so everything is working fine. So here also I am able to see, if I refresh, so it is working fine. Now if I try to go to the iPad Air, so now I am able to see 2x2 display. If you want, you can also make it 3x3 also, not a problem. So here we are able to see it 2x2. And now let's go to this desktop mode. So if I go to this desktop mode, let's try to remove this one. Yeah, so this is the desktop mode. So now if I try to see this desktop mode, so this is showing somewhat very ugly. Let's try to add some more items here. Where is this product? Yeah, this is the product, and here I am adding some of the products. Okay, so these are the products, some of the products I have added. So now these products are coming one by one down. So fine, it is showing somewhat fine only, but I don't want like this to be displayed. So now here I need to show something around 4 items. Let's try to see it. Now we are having the responsive.css. Let's go to this iPad thing is completed. Now this is the desktop mode. Here the product section dot product, each product. Now this one should have a width of something around, what is the width you need to have? So we need to show 4 items, right? 25%. Now let's try to see the output. Now immediately these are showing 4 at a time. Now some people, what they will try to do is, so in the desktop mode I don't want this one, so product section the total width should be around 80%. Okay, so in the desktop mode it should be 80%. Now it took only the 80%. I will try to show you the scenario. Now if you try to see, so it should not take total width, so it should be around 60% only. So now each product, it will be in the 80% only. Now what I want to do, so this should be aligned center, means so left and right it need to take the equal spacing. So we need to apply the margin auto. Now these will leave the equal spacing left and right, and this will come aligned like this. Now if we try to see in the iPad thing, let's try to see in the iPad. Now these are fine for me, so there should be no space between the left and right. I don't want to leave any space. And in the iPhone SE also it is looking somewhat fine. And if I try to see in the desktop mode, so it is looking fine. Now let's try to see the like this. So here if I try to make it, so here it is showing 4. Now let's try to decrease. So here if I come here to 1200 pixels, so something around 1200 pixel, so it is better for me 1200 to between 1200 to 1500. So these are somewhat shrinked. So 1200 to 15%. I want this one to be something like what I can say is 3x3. So if you want, you can make it, not a problem. So now here what I can do is, so 1200 to 15%. I want something around 33.33. I want only three items, right? 33.33. I can take it. But now if you try to see the output, so there are only 3 items now between the 1200. So if I go jump back to 1100, so in the iPad mode I am able to see. Now if I go into the 1200, so 3x3, it is fine looking. Now if I go into the desktop mode, so mine is 1900 resolution. Now this one is collapsed somewhat, so it is looking somewhat, what I can say is over width. What I want is here it is sufficient for me to show, what I can say, 4x4. Now you can write extra media query, min width of 1500 pixel. Okay, let's take 1500 pixel, and what I want this one, so this product to be taken 25%. Now that's it. Now if you try to see here, in this place it is taking 4x4. It's fine for me, not a problem. And now if I try to see here, it is taking 3x3. It's fine for me, not a problem. So immediately it shifted to 2x2. It's fine for me, and shifted to 1x1. So now this one is looking perfectly all right for me. So now we have, this is how we will be doing this product space. So now whatever the product, now here if you want to do some pricing thing, so here we are having the pricing thing, right? The pricing I want to make it bold means we know that, so which is having a very much importance means we need to give the strong thing. We can give the strong, and this one will be some, okay, I have applied only for one of this thing, somewhat strong. And here if you want, you can give product price. Okay, so product price I can take here, and what I want to do is, so here at the top I can apply product price. So this one is a class, and now I can apply something like font size 2em or something like this. Okay, now let's try to see the output. So it is somewhat very much bigger. Let's try to apply the product title, not 2em, so let's take it as 1.5em. Okay, and the product title, we are having the product title, right? So product section dot product title. Okay, it should be something around font size 2em. Okay, now if you try to see the output, so this is if you try to see the output, so product title we didn't add it, I think. Where is this one? Yeah, class is equal to product title. Now let's try to see the output. So this is looking somewhat fine for me. Now I want to apply, let's apply to this all the things. Let's copy this one, as we are having this one all static. Let's try to paste it. So let's try to, items are there. Okay, one item we have left it out. First item we need to close it. Yeah, this second item is closed automatically. Here I will try to add it. Now we have add this one also. Let's try to see the output. I try to see the output, so it is looking somewhat fine. Now you need to understand another thing is, now when I am trying to decrease here, okay, now let's try to say that, so I am trying to make this one as here. Okay, let's try to see. Now here the product title is somewhat looking very what I can say is what I can say is it's looking somewhat smaller. So I don't want this product title to be looking smaller. I want little bit of font size to be increased in the mobile thing. So the logic what we can do is, normally the body size, the font size will be 16 pixel. Okay, so let's assume it says 16 pixel. Now it's normal thing only, it doesn't happen anything. Now what I want is, so the body size should be 20 pixel. Let's assume. Okay, automatically the font size, everything has been increased according to that one. So here responsive web page also increased, everything has been increased. Now this font size, how it is looking is, so here for me it should be something around title. Where is the title? So title I have added 2em, right? Now let's try to see it in the desktop mode. So if I try to see it in the desktop mode, so this one is looking somewhat large bigger in the desktop mode. So in the mobile it is okay, but here it is looking somewhat large bigger. So what I can do is, at the bottom in the desktop mode, I want the body to hold the font size, so old font size only, to be 16 pixel. Okay, so now if you try to see the output, automatically all the font size has been increased without interfering anything, so without changing anything. Normally the people what they will try to write it, so here we are having, instead of having this body font size as 20 pixel, now instead of having this one, so what I will try to do is, product title we have added 2em, right? They will go immediately and they will add it in this one. So they will go immediately and they will add it in this one, that, so they will make it as 3em or otherwise 1em. Okay, to decrease the font size. So now the font size has been decreased, right? But this, everything has been increased. So every font size we need to decrease according to this one. So now if I try to do it 1.5em, okay, so like this each and everything, so now it is fine. So each and everything we need to change it. So that is the reason we need to use the em concept, as we already discussed in the sizing concept and all those things. Now if you change the body, okay, all the font size should be decreased. So now I can make it as 16 pixel in the desktop mode, so that accordingly all the font size will be adjusted. So for example, let's say that the product title is in the let's say that product title should be whatever the base font size is there. So it should take the 2em. So that means double font size. It should take something around double font size. And here the text is there. What is this, the double font size it is having? It should take something around half of this font size of this one. So what I can do here, so this is the product description, right? And here we are having only 1p. Let's try to write generic thing in the product. Okay, this one is a mobile thing. So let's try to take the mobile thing. Yeah, so here I can write in the something like dot product and p item. So I can make the font size in a such a way that it should take only exact same font size. So half of this font size. Now this one is half of the font size. So default one, it is 1em only. But if you want something like 1.5 times, means you can write 1.5. Now this font size will be increased. So for example, let's make it as 1em, and here the product price, it should be 1.5em. So now what I can do here, product price, it should be something around 1.5em I have written. Now it has been increased. Now let's try to see the output, how it will look like. So you need to understand the logic. So when you are trying to design this one, so the normal base font size is 16 pixel. Now if you try to see here, it is double the size, 32 pixel, and here this should be 16 pixel, and here it should be 1.5 times the base font size. Now if you try to see here, so it is 16 pixel, 1.5 times. We didn't add it 1.5 times or what? Product underscore price. Oh, this one is also class. Okay, fine. So fine. Let's try to see the output. So it is now 24 pixel. So this one is double 32 pixel, and this one is 16 pixel, and this one is 24 pixel. That means 1.5 times. So according to the base font size 16 pixel, it has taken that accordingly. The calculation has been done by this browser itself. Now when I go to the mobile thing, so now when I go to this mobile thing, let's go to this mobile thing. Automatically the font size has been increased to the 20 pixel. Now we have added the body to be font size of what I can say 20 pixel, right, in the mobile version. In the desktop mode we have decreased it to body size, we have decreased it to 16 pixel. Now let's try to see the product title, how much font size it is. Now if we try to see this font size, it is 40 pixel. Why? Because it should be double the base font size of this mobile. So the mobile the base font size is 20 pixel, and here the product title is 40 pixel, double the font size. Yeah, base font size it is. Now if you try to see, it is going, yeah, it is 20 pixel, the base font size. Now if I try to see here, it is 30 pixel, so 1.5 times. So this is how you need to manage the font sizes and also the CSS of this one. So here, while going on down, we are going on writing the media queries. The writing CSS of this one should decrease, should be going on decrease. Now the major CSS is only the mobile part. If you try to see the major CSS, we have written only the mobile part only. Okay, this is the main CSS for us. So now this is the main CSS, and we have changed some of the things in the iPad thing. So here now, while compared to this mobile version, it has been decreased, and while compared to this iPad, this code has been decreased. Okay, this code has been decreased. Now while compared to this one, so this one has decreased. So like this going on, so the modification has to change, so that the base modification should be at the top only. So this mobile first approach only we need to follow. So like this, if you do the coding like this, means then your responsive website design will become very easily and predictable. So if you go on writing, so we know that inheritance concept, if you go on writing at the top, so for example, let's say that somebody told that no, in the iPad version you need to get font size of 2em means. So some people, what they will try to write, they will write here only for this concept. Okay, min width of 800 pixel. So it should be font size like this. So they will write it wherever it is possible for them. So this could create a confusion. So you need to have something like this. You need to maintain the you need to maintain the structure in the responsive design, so that you will be having like this. So for example, now you will be able to understand that this is for iPad section. Okay, you can write like this the comment, so that other developers also can able to understand very easily. Now this one, you know that for large devices, let's say for large devices. Okay, if they know the coding means they will be understand that okay 1200 pixel and above it will be. So here 800 to 1200. So you here if you want you can write that it should be around 800 pixel to it will work up to 1200 pixel. Okay, not 1200, so I can say 1199 pixel only. Okay, so 800 pixel to 1100 900 and 1199 means this one will work. So now large devices means, so here you need to write in such a way that 1200 to 1500. Okay, so here 1200 to 1500. Okay, actually it is greater than 1200 only. So if you don't mention anything 1200 pixel, so if you want to override only you need to override it here. Okay, you will be overriding it in the 1500 pixels, otherwise it will apply for everything. So here also it is something greater than 800 pixel only. So if you want to override anything you will be writing here in the 1200 pixel, and here this one is greater than 1500 pixel. This one is for extra large devices, so you should have a extra large devices. If you have very 4K resolutions also you can keep a down, you need to keep the down 4K devices. Now in between this one if you want anything means 800 pixels. So some people ask that between 500 to 600 I want to change me. So here you can write @media query minimum width of 500 pixel. You can take it and you can write it, and you can write. So here it will be something around small devices and you can write. So that is according to the requirement and the project planning. You will be having these media queries so that all the people has to maintain the same scenario. So now you will be having something like greater than 500 pixel. Okay, so this is how if you want you can split the media queries so that for every section of resolution it will be followed. And the first one without any media queries and all those things is these all comes under the all section, especially in the mobile section it will be. Now when you are going on changing means, so for the desktop, for iPad, for small devices, for iPad, so for desktops, large devices, for extra large devices, like this you will be going on dividing the section, so that this responsive thing will not create any problem for you. So everything will come under your control, or otherwise you can check it like this without any problem. So now you can check it like this. So with now here if you are able to see, so now when the resolution is more, so here you will be able to understand. I don't know what is the resolution for this one. Let's make it outside. Try to remove this one. Now this one is the 600 pixel. Now if you try to see, so greater than 500 pixels. So here up to 400 it is fine. So when it is increased to 500 to 800, between this 500 and 800, it is still showing me what I can say, single thing only. When it goes to the 800 only, it is coming 2 by 2. So if you want you can also between 500 200, if you want you can also split whatever you want. So here I can do in such a way that what is that one we have. So this is the thing, right? Here float is 33.33 800 pixel. So that means it is coming 3 by 3, 2 by 2. We are getting 2 by 2 here. So we have increased this one to 3 by 3. Float 33.33. See here. So this is okay. 33.33 is navigation thing. Okay, fine. I got confused. Now here, what I can do? So it should be 2%. You will need to get right. So you can write in the 500 pixel 2% like this. Now you will be able to see that in between this one also you will be able to have these two things also. If you want, you can give this margin and all those things. You can keep it, not a problem. And now while going on, so there is no need to mention it here. So here if I want, I can copy these all the things. There is no need to mention in this one. Now I can paste it here. Now if you try to see the output, see automatically has been decreased. Now if I go into this resolution also, see the same thing it is there. So now I did in such a way that in every resolution, in every possible resolution, it will work. Now I have decreased the coding also. Now if you want whatever the things you want here, so you can shift it to the outside. You can shift it to the top side. So all the CSS that are written on the top will apply, and plus overridden. So you need to override it downwards. If you want any particular change for this one, means you need to override it, so that you will not have any duplicate CSS in this one. So there is nothing duplicate CSS in this. So all the people, what they will try to write it, if the CSS is not working, so they will try to make it compulsory and they will try to add it important, so that this creates a problem that only this CSS will apply in all the scenarios. So that could not happen. Okay, now if I try to make it as important, so as this one is in the media query, so it's fine. So it will apply only in the 1200 pixel, but it is in the at the top means. So if it is 1200 pixel also, what I can say here is the header thing, right? If I apply this one, now in the desktop section, what I did, the navigation to be in green color. Now if I go here, this one is still in the brown color only. Why? Because so we have changed the specificity of this one in such a way that it should follow only this one. So now the problem arises. Now in order to overcome this one, now again you will go down the common things what we'll do in the real time. I am telling you. So again I will try to keep this one as an important. Now now both are having the same specificity, and this one is the latest instance. It has been created for this selector, and now it will be dark green. Now see, now here it will be brown. So it's fine applying. Now you went in such a situation that whenever you want to apply the background color for this header thing, you always will use this important thing. If you don't use this important, so the output will not be predictable. So that is the reason you need to understand. So then remaining all the developers and all those people will apply this important, going on applying this important and all going. So this will give at the last the CSS will not be adjustable. So this is what about the responsive design. So now what we can design is, so now I will give you a task to design this code. Footer is also very easy. You can design the footer. So now any items. So whenever you want any items means, so you can use this design this layout approach, so that it will not create any problem for you. So do you have any doubts in this responsive website design? So you people able to understand this responsive thing? So if you have any doubts means you can ask me. So this is actually the best practices we need to follow. So I have explained you the best practices. So how we should write the code in the CSS. If I want to tell you that media queries means, I can tell you directly wherever I want. I can write it this code, and I can show you the output. But here the way of writing is very important. So because of that reason, I've explained it. So the responsive should become very easy for you. This is the thing. Okay. So this is all about this CSS concept we have discussed. Okay. Though we have discussed, there are some more items are there in the CSS. So if you go on discussing about the CSS, it will take so many classes. This is the basic layout. So this is the basic layout how we can design it. So for the trainees and who are learning first the CSS, so up to here if you learn it, it's fine. So if you want to go deep into the CSS and all those things means, so I already told you, right? The CSS1 concept and all those things came. Floats concept and all those things was introduced in somewhere around late 2010 below before the 2010. This float concept and all those things has been came. After the 2010, CSS3 has been came, and this revolutionary thing came. Responsive web design has been introduced. So for achieving this responsive web design, we have used these media queries and all those things. And after this media queries and all the things, we got the flex concept. Okay. So if you want to learn about this one, so CSS Flex Concept. So this one is an unidirectional flow. So it will support only the horizontal way only. So this is the CSS Flexbox module. So this is also used for the responsive layout module. And afterwards, after this 2015-16 around, I don't know. So grid concept has been came. Okay. So we will be using this grid module, display grid, template columns, like this we used to use the grid module, display property, which will change it to display grid. So like this we will be using. So these are all somewhat advanced concepts. And afterwards, right now we are the trend running is the container queries. So we are trying CSS future is coming. So CSS container queries, these are getting introduced, but is an early stage specification. Lot of interest for the. So this is the early stage specification, means this is yet to come in all the browsers. So it will take some time to get in the modern browser. So tomorrow, while going to the feature, these all container type, container name. So instead of having this flexbox grid and all those things, so container queries will come into existence, so that all the CSS, I think maybe in the CSS4 these all things will come, but these are early to understand. But in order to have an idea for you, so how the responsive is progressing in the CSS and in the website, so I'm explaining it. So this is the right now trending, it will be going on. So in the future it will be they are trying to introduce it in this what I can say. So it is last updated in 2021 September it seems. So they will go on introducing this. So this is all about this responsive concept. Okay. Now you may be having a doubt that now for this sir, for this small showing this display products and all those things, we have written somewhat around the CSS code. So we will be able to see the CSS code starting from first line to, so we have written around 150 lines. Okay, 150 lines we have written. Now for writing this single head navigation, and it is the basic thing only. So basic thing only. For writing this one, so we have used around 150 lines. So for example, if you try to see W3 schools or any website, if you try to see anything, where is this one? It has been, yeah. So in order to design this CSS for this all button and all those things, so this all layout, how much lines of CSS will it take? So you can think of, so it will take thousands of lines, right? You can ask me. So then writing thousands of lines and all those things, it will take so much of time consuming. It will be a time consuming, and also maintainability will not be there. So if you try to see, so you will not able to remember this classes thing. So specificity issue will come. So these classes, how much deep level selectors we are using, so specificity issue will come. So these are all things you will get a problem. Yeah, yes, correct. So when the CSS file is going on increasing, so there will be real-time problems that, so maintainability will be very difficult. Okay, so for that, for these things, solving these scenarios and all those things, so we have CSS frameworks in our market. So some of the CSS frameworks are Bootstrap. So most popular thing is Bootstrap. Okay, so right now the version current running is the 5th version. So normally the people will be using, so this one for developing the real-time application. I don't know why this 3.4 has came. Why I opened 3.4 or what? Bootstrap. Let's try to type the Bootstrap. Yeah, okay. So there is another website for this one. So get Bootstrap. So this is the 5th version. Right now it is running. Okay. So this, by making use of this framework, we can build fast. So here you can able to see, right, time consuming has been gone. So we can build the fast and also responsive side. Because of this responsive only, we are getting 150 lines with Bootstrap. So we can build fast responsive website using this Bootstrap. So this Bootstrap provides you some front-end toolkit. Full toolkit means some commonly used CSS it will provide us for developing the CSS application. In the next session, we will see about this Bootstrap. So what are the features of the Bootstrap and how we can design the website using this Bootstrap 5. Let's try to see. Now we have seen the layout designing using the core CSS. So using the basic CSS, what we have learned these 2 weeks, we have did using this one. Now we will try to design fast responsive website with the Bootstrap supporting all the layouts. Using this Bootstrap, we will try to write it, and also the CSS will be decreased in such a way that hardly we will be writing 10 lines of CSS, I think. So we using this 10 lines of CSS hardly. So we will be writing. So hardly you can see 10 to 20 lines of CSS will write. So by using the 10 to 20 lines of CSS only, we can achieve this type of output. What is that output? Oh, hey, where this output gone? So we can achieve this output far better than this output. Okay, so if you want to make somewhat means you can make use of so a lot of things you need to make it. A lot of things we need to do. We need to write the CSS. So if you want to make it text align means you need to make the text align center, text align justify. So these all are direct. There are no logic behind this one. So these are all direct properties you can apply. So these are all the things we need to do it. So we can apply the navigation without writing any code. We can design this header and all those things we can do it. Anything, whatever thing we want, you can design it. So this is about the Bootstrap. We'll discuss about this Bootstrap in the next session. And the another thing what I want to do and what I want to explain is, so before closing the CSS, if you want to apply the fonts for this one, okay. So normally we have a Google fonts. So if you want to apply the fonts, so normally you'll be having the Google fonts. Okay. So you can use this any font if you want. You will be having 2 ways we can insert the font. One way is the taking from the online. So I will show you. Let's say that I want to take this font size. Okay. Now here, if you want, you can download it, or otherwise select this style. I want to select this style. So here it is telling you how to include this CSS. If you try to observe. So now here you need to copy this CSS. Let's go into this one and let's paste it at the top. Okay. Now here if you try to see, this is the CSS rule you need to apply. Now let's copy this one and let's try to apply in the body. Now here the first one is called as a special font and this one is called as a generic font. Okay, so generic fonts you will be having in the browser, you will be having the default generic fonts. There are sans serif, serif, you will be having cursive. If you try to search in this one, generic fonts, Times New Roman. So these all things you will be having generic font family. These are called as a generic font family. So here you will be able to see, if you are able to see here, common generic font families include serif, Times New Roman. These are family. In this serif family, you will get these Times New Roman. These are all the fonts. Sans serif, Arial, Verdana. These all things. Monospace, cursive. These all things comes under the generic font family. So these generic font, for including this generic font family, you don't need to include any fonts or anything. Okay, so there is no need to include these fonts and all those things. For this generic font family, these all things work here. Okay, you can use sans serif and all those things. Okay, and here why they have given for this double quote is, if you don't want, you can also, there is no need to give the double quote here. So this one will work. But when you are having a space like this, the font, you will be having a space. For example, Times New Roman, these all things. When you are having a space between this one, you need to mention the double quote. For the generic fonts, you don't have any what I can say, spaces like this. The fonts which you imported specially has the spaces and all those things. So now first all the time you will have the fonts that you have imported, special fonts that which you want to apply to the website. So must and should what you want to apply to the website. Some browsers doesn't support this font size and imports these are not supported means. So we should have a font in a such a way that we should have a generic font in a such a way that this should be fallback what I can say, fallback font. So that means if none of these fonts are not applied means this generic font will be applied at the last. So you can add comma oriented like this. How many fonts you want like this, you can add comma oriented. Now you have another special font means you can use something like Roboto, so which we are not having. Okay, we need to import it like this. You can go on like this, adding the comma, and at the last you need to add the generic font. So why? Because if none of these font sizes are not supported means browser, so that browser can go back to this fallback thing. So which one you want it? Okay, so now if you try to apply this font what is this one, Macondo, let's try to see the output, how it will try to change it. Now see, the entire font has been changed to here. So like this you can use it. Now if you want to download, so if you want to download the family and if you want to use it means, so we have a special thing that is called as a font paste. So we can use this font paste rule at the rate font paste, and you need to give the name of this font family. So whatever the font you want to call it. So for example, here we have called it as Macando, right? So you can give the name of this one, something like my first font, whatever the name you want, you can give it. And you need to give the source. So where this font file actually it is. Normally the font file, we'll download it and we'll keep it in one folder, and we'll try to give the path, how you will be giving for the background image. In the same scenario, you can give it. Now you can give this one as my first font. So if you want to apply, you can apply it like this. So this is another way of including that font paste. Normally what the people will try to do is will try to do this WOF format, or so there are some formats are there. So TTF format, WOF format, these all the things are there which are supported. So normally they used to add these all the supported formats. Normally they are all the time. So online is providing all the supported formats, though there is no need to download and all those things. So whatever the font family you can like it. These are also free version. So some fonts are there which are commercial version which we cannot use it. So these are all free versions, open source, which we can use it in our website without any problem freely. So there are thousands of fonts are there which are available here. There are also some other sites also which provide these fonts. So this is all about the CSS basic concepts which we have covered. So do you have any doubts in this one? So fine, right? So these things all I will commit it in this GitHub. So you all know about this GitHub thing, right? So if you want, you can take a look at this one. Okay. So tomorrow we will discuss how we can develop the same project or same application or a different application. You'll see using the Bootstrap. Before continuing with the Bootstrap, we'll try to learn the concepts what are involved in the Bootstrap and all those things. We'll try to learn. Then afterwards, we'll try to implement the layout using the Bootstrap file. Okay, tomorrow we will see it. Okay, fine, right? So now you are comfortable for developing the application. So you can develop the responsive website application, right? Okay, fine. So that is